Making our campus green, one wall at a time. According to the UN, energy is the dominant contributor to climate change, accounting for around 60% of total global greenhouse gas emissions. Global temperatures and growing seasons are increasing and leading to warmer days and more frequent events of extreme weather. A living wall is a green building alternative that can help combat these issues with its natural properties of absorbing heat, light, and sound. By utilizing these properties in the construction of a living wall, we can reduce energy consumption needs for heating and cooling. This is also an aesthetically pleasing way to promote sustainable development here at UNL and throughout all of Nebraska. Green architecture, such as a living wall, helps meet UN Goal number 7 by promoting investment in energy infrastructure. A living wall also helps meet Goal number 9 by retrofitting existing infrastructure for energy efficiency rather than completely rebuilding. Lastly, it meets Goal number 11 because of its abilities to scrub the air of pollutants while also absorbing sound waves to reduce noise pollution. A living wall involves many biochemical cycles, including the carbon, nitrogen, nutrient, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur, and water cycles. Because a living wall is covered in soil and plants, natural processes take over to keep the organisms alive. The plants and soil store carbon and other necessary nutrients for life. The plants absorb carbon dioxide and release water vapor and oxygen. Plants also absorb other gases through fixation processes that remove nitrogen and sulfur from the air. The soil absorbs atmospheric gases and serves as a reservoir for water. All 4 of Earth's spheres are also at play here because of the natural properties of plants and soil. Of course, there are costs involved with the startup of construction, maintenance, and labor fees. However, we believe the benefits associated with our living wall, including the reduction of energy consumption, far outweigh the costs. This is also a relatively cheap option that helps promote sustainability off campus as well because of the ease of access to vendors online. Anyone with an internet connection could easily find a seller or instructions on how to construct their own. For UNL, there would need to be an assessment done, but our findings were that a living wall generally costs between $75 and $125 per square foot to install. Our primary stakeholders include students, staff, faculty, landscaping crews, and campus architects. Some secondary stakeholders would be the media, local community, and general public. The main goal of our living wall is to reduce energy consumption for heating and cooling. Some concerns our stakeholders may have are the startup fees, maintenance fees, seasonal changes, and overall aesthetics. Some alternative solutions that reduce a building's energy use and greenhouse gas emissions are programmable thermostats, harnessing solar, wind, and geothermal energy, continuous insulation, and natural ventilation. Nearly 500 U.S. schools have signed the American College and University President's Climate Commitment. Signing this agreement requires schools to form a plan to be carbon neutral within 2 years. Luther College invested $1.5 million in energy efficiency purchasing for more efficient lighting, variable speed fans, motors, and pumps, as well as a campus energy management system. Duke is also aiming for climate neutrality. Their goals include replacing buses with hybrid versions, no longer using coal, and reducing employee air travel with teleconferencing. However, instead of investing millions of dollars in product or embarking on a huge construction project, installing a living wall on campus is much cheaper, much less time-consuming, and offers more health and performance benefits. A living wall has many benefits that we believe heavily outweigh the negatives. Just some of the pros include health and well-being are promoted, it increases performance and productivity, it improves air quality, brings the community together, reduces noise pollution, reduces energy consumption and cost, It is a form of artistic expression, positive aesthetics, natural indoor humidifier, and it can be inclusive of native Nebraskan species of plants. Some of the cons to this solution include runoff, maintenance and upkeep, construction, location, and some may not find it as aesthetically pleasing as others. A living wall doesn't cause any harm to any of our stakeholders. Our solution also respects the rights of our stakeholders by not being intrusive to their daily lives. Everyone is also treated proportionally because it has direct and indirect benefits that outweigh the costs. Overall, a living wall would serve the UNL and Lincoln community to promote sustainability by introducing the idea of vertical gardening and living architecture. Many people may not realize the untapped potential of incorporating a living organism into our existing structures. Living sculpture is also a great possibility. UNL could realistically have a living wall or two within the next 5 to 10 years if a few students started the initiative and brought forward reasonable research and means to the end goal. The New College of Business is the first place that comes to mind for a living wall. Sunlight is plentiful and there is no lack of wall space. By Hamilton Hall, there are also 2 blank walls that could be easily covered in life. Maintenance and upkeep should not be a giant undertaking, especially when the plants are carefully selected to suit our campus's needs. Eventually, we would love to see every wall on campus, interior and exterior, covered in plants. It's the same concept as underground homes, which are notoriously well insulated. Our air will be cleaner and our costs will be lower. Plus, our studying and focusing habits will likely be better. Studies showed that focus and calm increase when an employee has a window that faces outside. To get stakeholders on board who are against this win-win situation for some reason, we can put red plants in the shape of the Nebraska N in the center. Now, who could disagree with that? It's a better use of money in the long run than where some of our student fees are currently going. After roughly 11 years, the wall will have paid for itself in saved heating and cooling costs. We can make our campus green, one wall at a time.